can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved.
Just talk.
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes
No,
and I'll leave you alone.
Did he really just say, I don't care what you want? I'm going to force myself on you against your will anyway. And he did. He's a maniac. Stalker maniac. Stalkers aren't normal. Everybody else gets over it, moves on when they're rejected. So what the hell's wrong with you that you can't? Pathetic. Nothing more pathetic than a bitch who can't move on is a quote from Burn Notice. And oddly enough, the episode is titled Blind Spot. So your blind spot is you have no empathy for humans that you ruin and hurt and destroy. And everybody else does. You're void of normal human emotions. So it is a weakness that we have exploited easily, sir. Your cruelty is awful. It's hideous. This is Cynthia Ortiz. It is the 8th of April, Friday, 2022. These are the Charles Perry Stalker Podcasts. We do the disclaimer, use allegedly. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law yet. Apply the but-for standard, which means but-for we have to document the stalking activity. We wouldn't do the podcast. I have other shit to do. And apply the reasonable, prudent individual. Is it reasonable or prudent to chase a woman around, put cameras in her house, get her kicked out of her home 2, 3, 4, 5 times? Nope. You're a nutbag, and you're cruel. And I think I've given that Proverbs, a man's kindness brings blessings and his cruelty will be his downfall. And I've not seen that be truer than it is right now in my life. Other than Hitler or, Napoleon or Saddam Hussein or Osama bin Laden, the cruelty drew attention to them and what they were doing, as it is you. And you piss everybody off. Nobody likes mean people. The thing is if it's a law that says if you do this, you're a criminal, you go to jail. That means a lot of people in all 50 states got together and decided we don't like it when you do that. We want a civilized society where people are safe. And you're breaking that law knowingly, willfully, maliciously, intentionally, day after day after day. When you do that, you're doing something people disliked enough to make it illegal. And they're not going to like you. And you shouldn't have to be told this at your age. You should know. Because we all learned it in daycare. And we assert all constitutional rights. First Amendment. I have the right to talk about what's happening to me as much as she does. As much as Polly Peretti does. As much as David Letterman did. All stalking victims talk about it. And the National Stalking Victims Resource Center recommends you document stalking activity. They have police on a video, which I've shown over and over and over, titled Connecting the Dots. Here's how you deal with stalking. It's dangerous. Make sure the victim knows it's dangerous. 75% of femicides were stalked first. John Lennon was stalked and murdered by his stalker. President Reagan was shot by a stalker who fixated on Jodie Foster and believed that he was going to impress her and expressed great disappointment that she was not impressed. She was horrified. So am I. At the death of Chief Miller and the false arrest of Mike Neely. Had I testified, guess what? He'd be home right now, and y'all know that. You suborned perjury. Yeah, okay. And I also assert my 14th Amendment right to equal protection in the application of the laws, including but not limited to Title 18 of the United States Code 1512 and 1513. You do not get to tamper with a witness. You do not get to coerce. You do not get to commit grand larceny with intent to coerce, steal my money, hoping you're going to force me either, be homeless and starve to death or lie for me. About what? That I knew Mike Neely was drugged first, or that was confirmed months later in depositions? Which one? It's hysterical that you think people believe you at this point. That you think you can buy a lie and get away with it. You got people want to kick your teeth out is what you did. That's all you did. I also applied 14th Amendment to the application equal protection. Misogyny is prohibited and not tolerated in a civilized modern society. Hillbilly. To victims' rights laws and domestic violence laws and anti-stalking laws, anti-voyeurism laws, and anti-hacking and cloning laws. You don't get to be on my phone, on my computer, on my anything. You don't get to have cameras in my house, Peep and Tom. You can't get a real date, so you just sit around and watch me work all day, fighting you off. It's like rape. I've been physically raped, and this is the same. There's no difference. Somebody's violating you against your will. It's sick. It's twisted. It's a monster. And the other laws. What other laws? Anything that protects women from stalkers. Domestic violence, economic abuse, grand larceny with intent to coerce, and interference with commerce and contracts with intent to coerce. Interfering with a contract is a civil matter until you make it coercion. Conspiracy to coerce. All of that's crime. That's not civil. You keep wanting to know how I find out. You got a police on you, dumbass. You're making us all vomit. Mr. Perry is like this guy. He just never shuts up. And we know how you feel. We know what you think. We know what you want. We're sick of hearing it. And I'm sick of repeating that. You need to shut up. Because you make everybody feel like this.
Shut up.
What?
I'm sorry. Please don't speak to me like that. I am simply saying that you...
Will you shut up?
Hey.
Shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up.
Skylar,
shut up.
Please
shut up.
stop.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
She wouldn't shut the fuck up. Didn't ask her what she thought, did she? Nope, she didn't. You weren't asked what you think, Mr. Perry. We all get it. You want to lie. You've committed some very, very serious, heinous, egregious crimes, allegedly. I know a whole lot more about that than anybody else, and you know that. We want for you to be gone, so you're not around to do that anymore. So what you want, what you need is not under consideration. You're getting kicked off. Take the fucking blow-off hint already. Stop acting like a little girl. Go be a man. Go do things with your family. Aren't you supposed to be doing taxes right now? Did you forget how to add and subtract? Listen, we're all sick of repeating the same fucking thing day after day after day, over and over and over and over. Shut up. Will you please, sir? Shut the fuck up. No one cares what you think. You're pissing everybody off because you're cruel. Your guy said, I don't know who it was. Maybe I want to say Judge Hanson, maybe Jim Hanson. Why didn't you let her testify? Any idiot can see she's telling the truth. Anybody can see she knows what she's talking about. He didn't say genius. You got to be fucking Stephen Hawkins. He said any idiot can see she's telling the truth, Charles. Why didn't you let her testify for this guy? I had no idea you had it in you to be that cruel. It makes everybody get a sick stomach when you walk in the room. Creeped out, disturbed feeling. Why would you do shit like that to somebody? You're a Netflix original waiting to happen. You know, where they get the criminologist or the forensic psychologist to sit you down and interview you and make a TV show about it. And the next thing you know, it's on Netflix. They got a lot of those already. You know, what's one more, right? Why not you? Let's pick this guy's brain to find out why the fuck he did that. That's what criminology is. Criminology is crime causation study of crime causation. Why in the fuck would anyone do that? Why would you do that? Why do you think it's okay to peep on women? Why do you think it's okay to kill and everybody's supposed to lie for you? I'm going to ruin your life. You're going to let me, and then you're going to lie for me. And I'm the first person, I guess, that has said, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Here's what I think.
Shut up. What?
I'm sorry. Please don't speak to me like that. I am simply saying that you...
Will you shut up?
Hey.
Shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up.
Skylar,
shut up.
please
shut up.
stop.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Because you're constantly going at me. Lie for me. I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do that to you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to have you false arrested again. I'll find something. I'm going to, take all your money and you're going to be homeless and starve to death or lie for me. And, follow the yellow brick road, whatever the fuck that is. On. And just goes at it and goes at it and goes at it and goes at it all day long. I can't get a damn thing done. And here's how I feel about it.
Shut up. What?
I'm sorry. Please don't speak to me like that. I am simply saying that you...
Will you shut up?
Hey.
Shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up.
Skylar,
Shut up.
please
Shut up.
stop.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
What is wrong with you? When a woman says, leave me alone, leave her alone. Then you don't need a lie. I don't know, is the guy right that said maybe you ought to consider all possibilities? One of those possibilities is Mr. Perry has an imaginary romance with a woman who can't stand him. To the extent that he forged a marriage license and a power of attorney, went around telling everybody, we're married. And I need an entourage because she's threatening me. Where? What am I threatening you with? Jail? If you speed, you're going to get a ticket. If you voyeur women and kill cops and shit, you're going to go to jail. Maybe you bought some cops, you didn't buy ours. It doesn't matter to us. We've gotten shit out of, uncovered your criminal shit nobody else has. We're happy to do it. Because at some point, we're going to look your victims in the face and say, you're safe now, we slayed your dragon. You're safe. He can't hurt you anymore. That's what we're all supposed to do, cop or not, relieve suffering. Relieve it. Any kind of suffering. We see people, I spoke to the shrink's comments last night of, we saw Hurricane Katrina, everybody rushed to help the victims. We saw 9/11, everybody rushed to help the victims. We saw Derek Chauvin murder George Floyd, right? Just boldly. boldly. Sat on his neck until he died. People screaming at him, bloody murder. Stop. Please stop. Please stop. Sir, he's dying. Please stop. And he just kept on and on until he died. Took a man's life. You don't get to do that. You absolutely, and he's sitting in prison right now for doing that. And then you saw witnesses get on the stand and traumatized, cry while they're testifying. That's what you're putting people through, watching what you're doing to me. It's not cool. Our shrink also said he's got some men helping him that think they're not mentally ill, and I'm here to tell you they are. If they get examined, if I examine them, I'll find they have something, because it is not normal to sit around on your fat ass all day trying to figure out how to ruin somebody's life. There is something seriously wrong with you if you do that. It's not normal to want to hurt people. It's normal to want to relieve suffering and make the hurt end. That's normal human emotions. They have failed to consider that, and that's how we've gotten way ahead of them for the first time in their lives. People don't like to watch that. So, and I believe one of the guys, when you first came up here and had a meeting, said in the room of that group of people, there's too many bleeding hearts in this room. What? Maybe you ought to fuck off. Maybe you're out of line. Because in this country, we have a civilized society in this modern age. We don't act like that. If you do, you go to jail. You start tampering with witnesses. You go into court and lie under oath knowingly, or conceal material facts that could change the outcome. Had you disclosed it, or allowed it to be disclosed, you go to jail. Just like that. It's a crime. You don't do it. You don't put people through shit like that and think they're gonna like you. You don't put other people through shit like that and think they're gonna like you. You know why? If there's people watching you, just kind of like the girl that I used to dance with that went to, pulled me in the bathroom after you and your entourage had been in there. We need you to make her not like Fabian and like Charles. What? That's not my job. That's his job. And if she won't, try to find us something so we can put her back in jail until she changes her mind. What? Now she feels threatened. Now she's scared. What if they do that to me? What if I mess up whatever it is they want me to do? Now you made everybody feel threatened. Now you made everybody feel anxious. Now you made everybody feel guilty. And you pissed everybody off. And it's not that hard to get information. What planet do you fucking live on, sir? You don't get a date ruining a life. That's not what this is about, she said. It's not about a date. I know what people do that want a date. I've dated. I get a text or a Snapchat. Let's go hang out. Sure. That's how you get a date. And if I say no, that's it. You guys need a weekend in Vegas badly. All of you. Get a life. Go buy a date. Vegas. They're discreet. They don't tell anybody. You're not the only elected official to do that. People do that from all over the country. Nobody hears a thing about it. It's not crime. You don't go to jail for that. In Vegas, it's called an escort. I used to have a friend that did that. She had a humongous house. Humongous house. You know what I had never heard about? Her clients. Don't know who her clients were at all. I know she had a lot of money. So, there's something to that. There's probably some sick, twisted, weird chick that'll do what you want without you having to, kill her. I mean, come on with this. You guys are caught. And Mr. Perry, as many times as I've said, he's trying to make me lie. He's trying to coerce me to lie. I'm getting punished because I stood up for a police officer who's injured in the line of duty, needs an assist. Now I'm doing it. So I'm getting starved, and we'll kick her out of her house. That was a podcast on the 12th of February 2022 that you were recorded telling my landlord kick her out. So, I guess that was the new thing, is there was no payment made or something, and or she wrote a check expecting to get some money in, and it didn't come because you got her mail. You stole her mail. You got it, and then cut up her cards or whatever. I mean, come on with that. Yeah, I've said that. You're stealing my money. You've been stealing my money for some time. And Josh person, COVID took money from all strip clubs and all bars, sir. There's not Governor Stint closed them down. I didn't work for a month. It was a little over a month. And then we go back to work, and then Governor Stint ordered a shutdown at 11. Well, that's when everything just gets started going. So a federal judge reversed it. And, but the thing is, okay, so here's the thing. Let's say I should be making, when I'm dancing, I should be making $600 a night. Let's say a Friday night, I'm going to come home with $600 after I've made my money and I've tipped everybody out. The second, people don't know about how this works. Girls who work as dancers are business owners. There's no salary. There's no hourly wage. You're on your own. You are an independent contractor. You walk in the second you walk in the door, you owe money. You owe a house fee. You owe a waitress, however many waitresses there are that you got to tip out. You got to tip out the DJ. You got to tip out the bouncers. You got to tip out all those people that work there. It's expected. And some places will fire you if you don't. It's supposed to be optional, but depending on the strip club, they'll make you. You don't have a choice. There could be an argument made for whether or not you're an independent contractor if they do that, but that's not what I'm doing this for right now. There have been lawsuits about that at strip clubs. I believe one in Oklahoma City, and then Jaguars in Dallas. Some girls sued and wanted hourly wages because they were treated like employees too much. So they do have to be careful on that, but you have to tip those people out. And frankly, you're not doing yourself any service if you don't, because the waitress and the DJ and all those people have some control or some ability to send people your way. A guy walks in the door and goes, I want, tell me which chick is good. Gives a good lap dancer. So tell me, he's not going to tell you actually which chick gives a good lap dance. What he's going to tell you is who his BFF is. And the BFF is whoever tips him better. Unless he's sleeping with one of them, and that happens too. But anyway, that's beside the point. But that's how that works. I mean, you take care of your people, and they take care of you. And so you're an independent contractor. You're a business owner, and that's part of the business. Knowing that you really do need to tip those people. So it's up to you to make that money. And the clubs will schedule you to work on a night. You don't show up, you pay a no-show fine. I paid $5,000 to Mr. Chadwick because I was under threat and I missed that much work and lost all the money that I could have made working. So let's say you got $600 you're usually coming home with after you pay out all that, and it's up to you to sell dances. You sell, and it's up to you to put a good performance on the stage and get tipped well. I mean, that's your deal. Nobody else is responsible for that but you. So each girl has to work her own way and do her own thing, and what works for her, what worked for me may not work for another girl. It depends on personality and so forth, but you gotta make your own fucking money. So It's hard to do, though, Josh, when COVID happens and half the people that would come in are laid off and don't have any disposable income to come in and buy a dance with because they're tight. They don't have any money either, or everything's just shut down. So that's COVID. Then, like one of the major contributors to customers out at Sensations was Google. A lot of those guys work construction, so they're rebuilding the Google building to accommodate new computers. They don't actually work for Google. They work for a construction company out of Texas. They all went back to Texas. They weren't even in town. All that money went with them, Josh. That's COVID. So, but when it starts coming back and we're supposed to start making money again, Mr. Perry, instead of letting us make money again, rents the whole place out and sends his 5 guys in who tip canned food. Perry is famous for being cheap, and I'm going to take your steak and give you canned food and say that I gave and you should be happy about it. Wow, okay, on what planet is that, weirdo? Yeah, that's pathetic. So one night, literally, 2 guys are tipping me. 2 guys are sitting on the stage. One guy starts to tip me. The other guy pulls his hand back and said, "You can't tip her." And he goes, "Why?" "She pissed off some bigwig out of Texas. They told us we're not allowed to tip her." "Who told us that?" "You know, those guys outside." I was like, wow. I threw a fit. I threw a public fucking tweet fit. Get out of my wallet, you sick motherfucker. Grand larceny with intent to coerce. So, what, I didn't, I won't be your sex bitch or whatever the hell it is you want. You make my skin crawl. Too bad. Boo fucking who. Move on. I threw a fit about it. And about 2 weeks later, I'm on stage, and the stage is fucking covered with money. And I pull it all off the stage and walk in the back. And one of my coworkers goes, "Oh, God, finally he let you make money. About time. About fucking time." And I'm like, wait a minute, what? He lets me make money? She goes, "Yeah, everybody knows he won't let you make money." Wow, because they have meetings, like my dancer friend said. When in your life have you been caught this much? You pathetic piece of nothing. When in your lives has your crime been caught since you went at me more than ever? More than ever. And you seem not to understand that. And you seem not to get the cause and effect. And we're sick and tired of explaining it to you. Like you're fucking 2 years old mentally. Nobody should have to. Normal people do not stoop to the pathetic level that you are. So, it's both, Josh. Did you call up here and tell them? Can you pin her down on is it COVID or Charles? It's both, Josh. Think it through. Think it through. I shouldn't have to tell you that. So, hang on.
Leave me alone.
This, Josh, is how I have to live every day. Some weirdo. Only he doesn't do it like that. He types it in my phone or jams up my computer and jams up everything. Some guy out of Houston that works with y'all calls him Peep and Poke and Pink Penny Pathetic Parrot. Did you know that? Did you know that there's a recording of that? It's that bad. Why are you kissing the ass of that? Aren't you there's honor in your badge. You want to be the bitch? You're the Sheriff Rowan in this deal. You want to be the bitch of a sex weirdo, and that's the best you can do in your career in law enforcement. I don't even know what to say to that. I have to be chased around by some weirdo like that won't shut the fuck up. Sometimes, Josh, he tells on you. Sometimes you have police investigating you, Josh. You have police from somewhere else investigating you because you went at me. And I happened to be grow up in the home of a police chief and an elected official and worked in politics all my life. But I didn't do state, I did federal. So along the way, I met some people with a lot of power. And they're all over you because you're on me. And I asked you to leave me alone. And that's all you had to do. So I got some weirdo like that chasing me around all fucking day. that won't shut the fuck up. And this is how everybody else sees it.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
Mr. Perry, I'm not a prostitute and you know that. Shut the hell up. You with your threats. Remember who it is catching your crime more than anybody you know. Remember who it is you're talking to when you're threatening me. Remember, Mr. Perry, you're the voyeur. You're the stalker. You're doing this shit up here. I left. I moved twice to get away from you. I'm sorry you didn't like that. Get over it like a man and move on. And quit acting like a pathetic little bitch. You don't get to peep. You don't get to hack. You don't get to contact me after I've asked you to stop. Shut up. No one asked you what you think. We're sick and tired of hearing it. I'm not a prostitute and you know that. You are something. You are one delusional little whack job, I'll tell you that. We're tired of repeating the same thing, and guess what? No one asked you what you think, did they? Just like they didn't ask him. You are that pathetic. Listen to how frustrated it is to have to say the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Should have got one time is all you should have to say it. There's a lot of things you shouldn't have to say at all. Because guess what? Stalking is not done by most people. So why are you doing it? If you're a peeping Tom because you can't get a real date, and you got go to counseling, go to Vegas and buy a date. If you have a hacking problem, stalking, those are crimes. Stalking is a felony. Stalking is a felony. And you need to shut up. No one asked you what you think. This is the frustration. We want to barf. It's like nails on the chalkboard. Every time you got to say what you think and what you want and how you feel. Shut up.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof.
Here's the deal. I moved twice to get away from your Jerry Springer soap opera. Twice. Josh picked up everything I had and moved and took a child. Made him leave all his friends. Twice. What about him, Josh? Have you met my son? Has he told you what he had to go through? Have you talked to John Neely? Have you asked him what he had to go through? Law enforcement is peacekeeping, enforcing the law, Josh. Not covering up for a weirdo who can't control himself. For 4 years, the only people that knew he had a problem, Josh, was my close friends. Most of them didn't live in Texas. I didn't want to be a scandal. I didn't tell people. I didn't go to the media with it. I went to his campaign guy. And in those Facebook messages of 2011 when I'm telling Jordan, I didn't hurt him. I didn't go to the media with this. I went to you with this. So why are you threatening to ruin my business? That was 5 years before I could anticipate your buddy could go into court, was going to go into court, and you too, and lie. Dark and twisty, Josh, is a saying on Grey's Anatomy by Meredith Grey when she's describing being sad after having loss. It is in no way a threat, weirdo. What the hell were you thinking saying that in court in your statement? It's your sworn statement. Your name is on that. She said she's feeling dark and twisty. That's a threat. On what planet, Josh? Then I moved twice, Josh. And then I said something. All he had to do was leave me alone. Y'all wouldn't be all jammed up right now trying to find how can we make her fail? How can we get 30 guys together and sit down and have a little meeting and try to figure out how to make her fail and destroy her life and ruin her? How dare she tell on us? How dare I tell on you? How about how dare you bother me? Nobody picked this fight but you. I have help. I can't do it alone. All I said is leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to be a scandal. I want to be left alone. I didn't come to Oklahoma to pick a fight with anybody. Charles, please will you shut up. Get out of my computer and shut up. He does that when I'm doing these podcasts because he can see me. He's a peep and Tom. So he tries to communicate me like he thinks this is a conversation. That's how delusional he is. I didn't ask you what you think, did I? Understand the words. This isn't daycare. You ought to be able to understand what people say to you and respond appropriately. He never responds right because he has no idea what the hell you said. Some sort of degenerative brain disease, the shrink thinks. So, like this guy, how many times did she say, leave me alone? What's he say? Well, he starts talking about her clothes. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you. You weren't asked. What were you asked to do? Go the fuck away. Leave her alone. Same here. Didn't ask you what you think, Perry. Get your cameras out of my house. It's illegal to peep. You don't have my consent. Don't contact me. I hate it. Makes my skin crawl. Makes me want to punch you. I don't want to hear from you. No one does. You're sick. You're sick and you're twisted. We all want you gone. When you're gone, I won't have to deal with that anymore. My privacy, I'll get my privacy back. You have robbed me of some basic right. Deprived me of just basic rights and needs. Josh, you're hurting little kids helping this guy. I don't understand that. I was raised by police 4 generations. I don't understand that. That's not what the job is about, is it? Dark and twisty means I'm sad because I've had some loss. Watch Grey's Anatomy before you just write something in a court of law with your name on it. It's your job. Your name is on that. You should take pride in it. There's honor in that badge. If you can't do it right, get out of it. It took you 6 times to pass the panel. Yep, there's a reason it took 6 times. That means the panel had so many concerns about you. 6 times you had to do to overcome it, and I have a feeling you didn't. I have a feeling they finally just let you in because your brother was in. It took him 1 time, right? Be careful who you hurt, Josh. We don't hurt people. It's supposed to be about relieving suffering caused by crime. Not let's be just like the criminals and let's try to cover it all up and let's hurt people. Why? Why would you do that? What about Officer Neely? Have you looked at his hands? Does it look like he was in a fight, Josh? Aren't you a cop? Can't you tell? Don't you know how to look at somebody, a crime scene, and don't you know how to look at evidence and read evidence? You should. If you're in law enforcement, you ought to know how to read evidence. I do. I was raised in it. He's an innocent man. Otherwise, I would have testified. That's what a reporter said. You know what? I'm happy to make these guys the most hated men in America when I can break this story. Because I'm going to tell you something. I hate them for what they've done to Officer Neely and Cynthia. Hate their guts with a passion. Had she testified and he was still found guilty, it might not be like that. But they didn't even let her testify, and they're trying to ruin her. No electricity and food for a week. That was my punishment. Now they're taking my house. There is no consent here. Whatever marriage license and power of attorney was forged, it is a forgery. And if you don't know, ask me. Show me the documents. Tell him I'm gonna give her the documents since you won't, and watch him shit himself. And then you'll know I've never even seen him. I didn't sign that. It's a forgery. That's another crime, Perry. So yeah, we don't give a fuck what you think. We're sick and tired of hearing it. And you're getting pushback and people saying, yeah, you're not doing that. It's not cool. We're going to tell on you. It's not accepted in a civilized society. I don't know what planet you live on, but everybody's sick and tired of dealing with it, sir. It's like this, grinding nails on a fucking chalkboard.
For this, please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Perry, shut up. Get out of my computer. He types in it when I say shut up, then he'll stop. Get the hell out of my life. Get out of it. Shut up and go away.
Alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave
You
me
can tell
alone.
all you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay.
Now, if it wasn't Josh that asked about the COVID moratorium, I apologize. It sounded like him. So whoever you are, cut that the fuck out. Cut that the fuck out. You guys, you get caught every time. How do I know you even said that? See, you're pissing people off. You're pissing people the fuck off. So stop.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Leave me alone.
You look like him to me, Charles. There's nothing sexy or hot about that. You're worse. You're dangerous. You're just fucking dangerous. You killed a cop. I explained to you how other people see me, not like you see me. You think that, I'm a bug you're going to exterminate? Is that what you think? You think wrong. Every time you guys go at me, you get caught. Because I know you asked about that. Ask her if it's COVID or if it was Charles. So, back to what I was saying. Let's say I normally go home with $600 on a Friday. And I'm not saying that's what I made. I'm giving a hypothetical. I'm not going to tell people what I made. It's none of your business. It wasn't what I should have made. So, that's been investigated by the guys helping me. The Fabian puzzle. Those guys. They did it right up under your nose. Didn't need your consent. It wasn't up to you, was it? And told me about the question of get her to say if it's COVID or Perry. Who the hell says stuff like that? You can't think that through by yourself? You ought to be able to think that through by yourself. It's both. I was having problems before COVID, and then it got worse after. So let's say there's $600 I go home with, and all of a sudden COVID hits, and now we got customers that would normally come in can't come anymore. They can't afford to, or they're all back in Texas because Google kept paying, I guess. I don't know. But these guys didn't work for Google. They worked for a construction company, so they were a whole different thing. They were building, like I said, building on that building. Most of them that would come in. So they went all back home, took their money with them, and so that's not there anymore. So let's say now I'm going. It was I think what the owner said, he had 2 clubs, and he goes, one club has a 15% reduction. This one we've had a 25% reduction. So you take 25% from 600, and then whatever's left is gone, and I'm going home with is in Perry's pocket, and I'm going home with $25, $30. So the owner of the club actually had those numbers. What's the difference between the loss from COVID in one of his clubs and the one where I was at? 25%, he said, at least after COVID. Now, you ought to be able to think that through yourself and not have to ask that question. And if there's only, 75% left of that 600, and Mr. Perry rents out the club to make sure I don't make any money, sends his 5 guys in with canned food, they go up and tip $1. You know what we would do to guys that tipped $1? We would look at them and go, I think that you need this worse than me. If all you can afford is $1, how about you go sit down on a chair? And a lot of them would go, oh God, I've never been in a club before. I didn't realize that you don't do that. No, you don't do that. That's an insult. No, you don't do that, sir. Or we would just walk off and leave it up there. It's like tipping a waitress a penny. So we didn't put up with that. None of the girls put up with that. You got to tip decent or don't go in there. If you don't have any money, don't go in a strip club. If you're, just a cheap piece of shit, don't go in a strip club. Girls don't like that. None of them do. So, I mean, I wasn't the only one that did that. Everybody did that. You don't want to, it's entertainment. You're getting something out of that. And the same thing watching me in my house, Mr. Perry. You do owe me $1,000 a day for watching me in my home getting entertained. I'm not getting it. I didn't give you consent to do that. Get the fuck out. You're breaking the law. You're about to go to jail. When you're in jail, I get my privacy back. There is no more hacking jam-ups. There is no more problems. There is no more what should take 5 minutes takes hours because you fuck everything up. And make a big thing out of it. Every little thing becomes a big ordeal. And I won't be broke again. No more late payments. No more contracts that, I can't meet what do you call it? I can't keep up with the contracts because you're taking all my money. David, you too. My parents owe me money. They've owed it to me since 2007. I never even asked for it and never mentioned it. The whole family said your parents are going to steal your money. Everybody's told me you got X amount of money that your grandmother worked her whole life saving for you. For you. And your mom is going to steal it. So, but we want you to know she left that for you. It's your money. I went through a divorce. During a divorce, all of a sudden I've lost the income that my ex-husband brought in. I get behind on my payments. I call my mom. I go, Mom, I need a loan. I get paid Friday, but on Wednesday it's going to get disconnected. If I don't get it paid today, can you help me? Yes, but on Friday you're going to pay me back. I never mentioned. Listen, I know you have my money. I never said a word. I didn't even ask for it. I didn't even let on that I knew about it until I needed it to help Officer Neely. Then I asked for it, and then you called, and those calls were recorded. You know why? Because we set everything up beforehand. When I tell these guys I'm going to do X, Y, Z, we don't let you know that. It's all set up beforehand. So when you start making those phone calls, they get you on that. And I want it back, and I want it back now. It's not your money. Get your hand out of my wallet. The more you pester me and the more you take my money, the more shit we get. And then I find out when somebody says, ask Cindy if it's COVID or Perry. Pin her down on something. You think it through, dumbass. Didn't need to ask that question. Especially if you're a cop. Think it through. Think it the fuck through. That's very irritating for me. That I would even have to speak to that. Think it through. You ought to know. If you're a cop, it's your job to know. No puppets and crayons should be needed for you. So does that help you? Ask the owner. Go ask the owner. What was the difference in your income at this club and that club? It was substantially less. Substantially more impacted in Tulsa than it was his other club. 15% reduction in income at the other club, 25 where I was. And it got worse even after he told me that. So, I believe the one club was paying all the bills for where I was. He wasn't even, because Perry, here's the thing. When you rent out a club all the time, then the people that go out there on a regular basis get tired of driving all the way out there to find that it's been rented out and they can't go in. They'd stop coming. You ran those people off, and I told you better fix that. You don't have a choice. Don't have a choice. Fix it. You don't have the right to do that to people and ruin them. And you made everybody mad when you did. So when you get caught, I want you to think about that. Don't ask me who told. Start thinking about it. I guess I pissed everybody off again. It's not tolerated. I'm getting some pushback. People are telling me it's not okay. Just like this.
Please. Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
All right. You're disgusting to everybody else. So the other thing is, I got people pulling up, taking pictures of me all the time. It doesn't matter where I live. There they are. And Perry types in my phone, we got pictures of you. And so, okay, think about the allegations. The allegations are stalking, Mr. Perry. You keep saying you're not a stalker. Oh boy, how do you are? And you're going to prove you're not stalking me by getting a bunch of pictures of me wherever I am in Oklahoma, where you don't live, supposedly? What planet is that proof that you're not stalking? I got photos of you. Yeah, because I get that, genius. We did say you're a stalker, didn't we? I don't have any of you. I don't want any of you. Because I'm not a stalker. Weirdo. So, you're just Neil here. Following a girl around, doesn't like you. It won't shut up. Never shuts up. I need a lie. I need a lie. Can you lie? I'm going to starve you. I'm going to put you back in jail until you lie. I'm going to ruin your life. You're going to lie. You're going to be homeless or you're going to lie. You're going to sit in jail or you're going to lie. And I keep saying, no, I'm not going to lie. What do you want me to lie about? That I knew Mike Neely was drugged in March 2020 or that was confirmed by first responders in May, a couple months later? Which one, Mr. Perry, do you think you want me to lie about? Have your attorney email it to me. And I'll read it for the media. He finally made me homeless. He finally took me, I don't have any food, so I'm here to read his lie. That was my ultimatum. Be homeless and starve to death or lie. So here I am. I'm going to lie. I'm going to read it. This is his lie for y'all. Y'all ready? Media? Is that what you want me to do? I mean, come on with that. It is ridiculous that you think you can pass off a lie. I'm not going to lie for you because I think you're... You need to be removed from the society of which you pose a danger. Everybody knows you tried to kill me more than once. Who the hell do you think you're fooling? I mean, because are you used to dealing with a bunch of Barney Fifes and they just can't figure it out and they got to say, can you pin her down on, is it Colford or Perry? Instead of thinking that through on their own. Is that what you're used to dealing with? I'm not that. I'm not even kind of that. The people that are helping me are absolutely not that. So the reputation that I have is such that when I start telling everybody I'm looking at Mike's case because there's stuff that doesn't add up. In fact, one of those things is he was drugged, and I know that. You know how I know that? Because the guys that got me the Fabian puzzle went over and asked. The same guys that set everything up when I go, I'm going to call my parents and ask for I didn't call them. I'm going to get in touch with my parents and ask for my money. I need that. It's my money. Interest is owed on that now. They shouldn't have kept it to begin with. But since they were ready to give it to me so that I could help Mike and you called them and told them not to, you got a problem. It might be owed by you before this is all over with. I shouldn't be broke. Everybody knows that. If you hear her talk, now you know why he won't let her in court. Hear her talk and look at her grades. There's no excuse for her to be broke. He has to be taking her money. You're pathetic. That's grand larceny with intent to coerce. The charge, witness tampering. The act, grand larceny with intent to coerce. Interference with contracts and commerce with intent to coerce. Got it? It's not like I've not said it over and over and over and over and over. And you're caught. When you mess with me, you get caught. I've said that over and over and over too. You've seen it every day. When he pesters her and takes her money, we see things happen we've not seen before. That was your guy. We've never had one of our victims figure out we got cameras in their house that we sell watch time online all over the world, all over the dark web, and rake it in while we starve them to death and to deprive them of their basic rights and needs. Economic abuse. We've never had one bill us $1,000 a day plus $2,000 a day. Mr. Perry, you owe me for doing it without my consent. You never had my consent. You forged my name. That's a whole different crime. Well, you just don't have 5 minutes in any day that you're not a criminal, huh? So, I mean, what the hell do you think you are? We've never had one invoice us. We've never had one, sue us. And we've never had one solve a murder we committed to cover all that up. So remember who it is you're talking to, sir, when you start threatening me. Remember who it is you're talking to. So my reputation is such that there was a person who saw me looking into that, found out I was looking into that, and said, watch, she's going to find every mistake they made. That's my reputation. Somebody that used to work in New Mexico. Lynn Hall, my dad, was the chaplain long ago. He was chaplain for the sheriff's department, but I think he did some for some of the other, or maybe APD or something. I don't know, but one of them said, when we were in New Mexico, remember that chaplain, Lynn Hall? Yup. You know those guys in Texas that have that sex exploitation business? Yup. They killed the cop. Guess who caught it? Who? Lynn? Nope. Lynn's kid, his daughter. Lynn's kid caught that. They want to know if we helped her. And I said, we're not, but I wish we were. That's my reputation. That's what people say behind your back, you sick fuck. You're not a hero, you're a villain. And you've made everybody want to barf, so you need to shut up. We're all sick and tired of dealing with it. We're all sick and tired of hearing it. You don't need a lie. You need to go to jail so that you can't bother anybody ever again. And I believe in the law of attraction. I believe we all attract to ourselves what we